Welcome to Popping Off with Corn Pop, where we won't try to chemically castrate your children. Well, it's the week of November 23rd, 2025. Thanksgiving is upon us. The turkeys are nervous. So is every non-binary poli-sci major heading to their house to face an uncle who, just bought a new boat with cash because the stock market is currently identifying as absolutely jacked. We are 10 months into the second Trump presidency, and the collective blood pressure of the Upper West Side is, still higher than Hunter Biden on a Tuesday. Let's check in on the administration. President Trump made waves this week with his new pick for the Department of Education. He's appointed a literal wrecking ball. Of course, liberals are furious. The teachers' unions are threatening nationwide cry-ins. MSNBC has been running a 24-hour chyron that just says, the end of thinking. Look, I'm all for trimming the fat, but a literal wrecking ball seems inefficient, although it probably has better reading comprehension scores than the Baltimore School District. And how is the resistance handling the current economic boom? Not well. Not well at all. Inflation is stabilizing. Gas is under $3. We're finally seeing the real jobs numbers after the previous administration's false numbers. Now, naturally, the New York Times ran an op-ed yesterday titled, "Why Having More Money is Actually Bad for Your Mental Health and Racist Toward People Who Hate Working." They're claiming the economic boom is causing abundance anxiety. Apparently, having a job and being able to afford eggs is triggering for people whose entire personality is based on being a victim of late-stage capitalism. They're protesting the good economy by refusing to participate in Black Friday, which is fine. More 85-inch TVs for the rest of us. So let's go to campus news. In preparation for the holidays, Harvard has issued a Thanksgiving survival guide for its students. It includes a list of approved conversational topics that won't offend anyone. The list includes the weather, but not climate change, because that's upsetting, the color beige, and the soothing texture of unflavored oatmeal. They also advise students that if a relative mentions the phrase border security, they should immediately retreat to a designated emotional regulation zone, which used to just be called your childhood bedroom. Look, if you need a guide to talk to your own grandmother, the problem isn't your grandmother. It's that you spent $200,000 on a degree that taught you how to be offended by stuffing. And look, conservatives, we aren't perfect either. We got to talk about this Patriot phone. It's being marketed to MAGA as a $1,500 phone. It doesn't have 5G because 5G turns the frogs gay. And the only apps pre-installed on the phone are Truth Social and a compass that only points toward Mar-a-Lago. Look, I love capitalism, but come on. If you buy this, you're not a patriot, you're just a mark. Just use an iPhone and complain about Tim Cook like a normal person. So finally, let's check in on the Democrats' wandering souls. It's now been a year since the 2024 election, and, they're still in the wilderness. Kamala Harris was spotted this week continuing her listening tour in a gourmet cheese shop in darkest Vermont. Now, according to some witnesses, she spent 20 minutes explaining the duality of the cheddar. She was also quoted as saying, "We must understand that the cheese is both aged and yet new to us in this moment. It is unburdened by the crackers of the past." We miss you, Kamala. Don't ever change. Well, that's the world this week. If you're heading into Thanksgiving dinner, just remember, eat the meat, watch the football, and when your cousin with the purple hair starts lecturing you or anybody else about colonialism, just smile and ask them how their student loan payments are going. I'm Corn Pop, and that was Popping Off. Have a good holiday.